Hey everyone, welcome to part one of acrylic pouring. This is just going to be a small series of tutorials to get everyone started that is interested in acrylic pouring. I know when I started out, I spent a lot of hours on YouTube, actually all day. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit easier for you. Everybody does it different. This is the way that I do it, and I have great success. So the first thing I wanted to go through was the things that you definitely would have to start acrylic pouring. And those items are inexpensive. A lot of them you can get at dollar stores and like your Dollar Generals, Family Dollar, places that are cheaper than ordering online, or you can buy in bulk online. But with my suggestion, I would say if you're just starting out, go as cheap as you can to see if you like it, because you may invest a ton of money in this and decide this is what you don't want to do, and or you may have trouble selling paintings. But I give a lot of mine away. I donate, and I do sell some, so I haven't really put forth a lot of effort to sell yet. I'm still working on my studio and trying to get everything organized so I will feel more comfortable as far as running my own business. I do sell jewelry also, so I have my hands tied up in a lot of different things, and I work full time. But with that being said, let's get started. So if you're just going to start out, you definitely have to get cups. If you're going to be mixing paint in cups, I would suggest a 9-ounce cup. I believe this is 9 ounces. Yep. You can fit quite a bit of paint in there. I don't even want to start the paint yet, but 9 ounces are good for mixing paint. And then you'll go with a 12 or 16 ounce cup to pour with. You'll get more coverage. So I wouldn't invest a lot of money in big cups, because I'd really like you to start out on a small canvas or practice on tiles, something simple. But we'll get into that in a minute. So when I first started, I made sure that I had my popsicle sticks. These are 4.5 inch, and these I believe are 6 inches. All depends what size cup you're stirring in. You want a longer stick. Actually, I like these sticks for the smaller cups as well, because it does show your paint consistency better on a bigger stick. So, and consistency of your paint is very important when you're doing acrylic pouring. So we can push this aside. So we know we have to have sticks and cups. Now, as far as paint, there's so much out there. I buy it all. I buy house paint, the bare samples. When they're 99 cents on sale, I buy 40 jars. I don't use them a lot, but I do use them. When I run out of a color in a tube, it's there. I did do one painting that was all house paint, came out beautiful. There's a different way to mix this because it's a runnier paint. I don't even want to say it yet. And then you have your student grade paints, which is Artist Loft, and I think I'm not sure if Lucas brand or Soho or Premier, any of those ones. I'm not sure if those are student brand. I've just switched to buying Soho, and I do buy a lot of Grumbacher and Liquitex. Yeah, I think those are the better ones. But if you're just starting out, you can use the craft paint. You just have to mix it differently. So the craft paint is a little bit thinner than the tube paints, and I would say it's a little bit thicker than the house paint. So it's all going to be on mixing consistencies. So go ahead and grab yourself some paints. If I were you, I would start with these. They're not cost effective. This is better for your money, but if you're just starting out, I would say grab 6 bottles of this different colors that would jive together, and we'll use them on our next tutorial. We're going to be mixing and maybe doing a pour. So I would go ahead and get, yeah, probably 5 or 6 colors, so that way, but make sure they all go together. But if you want to go ahead and invest the money, you can go ahead and get 2 paints. These will last you a long time. This will make 2 cups of paint. This will probably make 10. So, and if you have Michael's coupons or if they're on sale, grab them. Start stacking up your colors, and you'll be ready for big pours. And then on the house paint, if you're at Home Depot or at Lowe's, go to the Oops pile. You can find some pretty cool colors in there, and you can sometimes get them for less than $1. But I didn't shake this, but you can get some pretty cool, nice dark color. I love dark colors, so with the house paint. Now, silicone. This is our biggest discussion, is on silicone. I use the Spot On treadmill silicone. I get it on Amazon. I also use dimethicone, which is 100% silicone. I do use Blaster on occasion. I spray it into a bottle and use the drops on that. Not recently, but I do use it. And of course, if you're watching my videos, you know that I use the WD-40 silicone spray. You can use this as your silicone, spray it into a squeeze bottle, and just put a couple of drops in your cup of paint. And I put it in every color but the white or the black. All depends what I'm using for a negative space or for a base paint. So this works well. It's more prone to break up when you're stirring than the treadmill silicone because it's thinner. It's more like water, but it works. You don't have to get a torch. I got this on Amazon. They're called cigar lighters, but actually they're chef torches that you would use to melt the sugar on creme brulee, and they do show it on the box. This is my spare, but they work pretty good. I'll show you. I like this one because you don't have to like turn the gas on. You can actually leave it on all the time and just click your button, because a lot of times when you're doing paintings, you've got one hand. And it's nice to be able to just grab and go. You're going to have paint all over it the first week you have it. I clean mine off once a month and it looks brand new again, but this is the same one of that one. So I think I paid $16 for this. Don't spend a ton of money on a torch. You really don't need it, but you want to make sure you got something big enough that's going to heat up your paint to bring that silicone up. So it's not a definite need. If you want a lot of cells in your paintings, then I would suggest this. If you're going to be using silicone or dimethicone, either one of those, you definitely want to get a torch because they're so thick and heavy that they stay down, and when you heat up the paint, they come up. So I would suggest getting a torch. You can use a heat gun. You can use an embosser. Anything that's warm, but you do not want to use a hair dryer. It will blow your paint all over the place, and it will dry the top of the paint, and you'll end up with a skin coat. It's great if you do it on cold and you're just blowing paint all over the place, kind of like I do with my airbrush. You can get some great effects from that, but that's not what we're looking for building cells. So that will be out. I've seen some girls use lighters. I've seen some girls use the big propane torches. I do on occasion when I have a big painting and I just want to get it done quicker. I'll get the propane torch out. Get yourself a water bottle. Not only is it great for spraying the back of your canvas to tighten your canvas, it's also great for adding water to your paints when you're mixing. And I will go through that on the next tutorial. Just grab a spray bottle and we'll go through that as well. You need something to store your paint in. I buy these on Amazon. They're ready-tainers. They come with lids. They're great. I keep all my paint in them. Some of these paints I've had for months, but they still work. I just give them a quick stir, check the condensation in them. Sometimes they get condensation in them from being out here in the garage, but they work fine. But it's nice to have those. And you can label the top. You can put an S on there if you've got silicone in it, and that way you already know. Doesn't hurt to put an extra drop in if they've been sitting for quite a while. So get yourself some containers to store your paint, or you can use spray bottles, or squirt bottles, I'm sorry. I buy lots of these mustard and ketchup bottles. Best time to buy these is after summer. I've got these for 10 cents for the set. I bought a ton of them, and I just put a nail in the top to keep the air from getting in there. But I use it, I even put my poly in there to varnish with, so, and squirt it on my paintings. But this does come in handy for paints, and it's a lot better for me. And I also use hair color bottles. I label the side with the color, and I bought that kids stuff. It's that soft clay, modeling clay, and I made little tops for these. They're soft, but they work. It serves its purpose. Or you could put a piece of tape on the top. Okay, and let's see. You're going to need something to pour on. This rack I use when I have small canvases. Sorry. Because it sits right on top of there. It does all its dripping all by itself, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Now, if you don't want to purchase a rack, you don't have to. Get yourself a plastic tablecloth, and on the back you can put push pins in the back, and this will keep your painting up off the table so that it has the free drip to it. When I first started, I did not use push pins, and I did not use a rack. I'll show you what I used. I used a big plastic bin, but I'm just, for video purposes, I can only show you this one. You can get yourself a dish pan, get yourself a couple pieces of wood, and stick your canvas right on top of there and pour. Let it drip down in your dish pan. If you're going to save your paint, it's easier to pour it out of there into a container. A lot of different colors will make browns or grays, and you can use it in other paintings. I myself don't do that. If I get a good runoff, I usually save the skins and make jewelry out of them, but you don't have to do that. I get yourself a plastic coffee can or a plastic storage bin. You can dump the paint out when you're done. But it's easy to clean up. You can take it outside and wash it out and use it again and again and again. My biggest pet peeve is do not put paint down your drains. I have a septic system, so I wouldn't do it anyway, but eventually that paint is going to stick to your pipes, and you're going to end up having plumbing problems. A lot of you girls, I shouldn't say you girls, a lot of girls, I can hear them washing their hands in their sinks and stuff, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do it. I don't want to run the risk of having problems with my plumbing, so I do not do that. I throw everything away. I wear gloves, and I throw them away when I'm done. So let's talk. All right, so we have canvas, we have ceramic tile, plastic tablecloths you can get at the dollar stores. I got this for 99 cents at Ollie's, and I can use it several times. Actually, the paint skins peel off of these pretty good. And I usually cut it in half. Or is it 3? I think I get 3 out of those. I put them here in my washing machine tray. I have a washing machine tray. Ann Osborne uses them, and I decided to buy one, and it's just been so much easier for me to set it on a table. But I can't do long paintings. I still have to do those on the floor, and that's when I use the plastic tablecloths. So, but you can also paint on wood. Got these at Target at Christmas time. They were $3. I have not painted one of those yet. I need to do some gessoing. I have a lot of things that need to be gessoed so I can paint on them. You can also paint on record albums. I had one over here. I was going to show you. I don't know what I did with it. Anyways, you can make clocks. Oh, I put them away. I'm sorry. You can make clocks and resin them, but that's further down the road. You can watch a lot of resin videos and learn how to resin the proper way. I would never teach you that. I myself, I'm scared to death of resin, but I still do it once in a while, and I think I'm going to do really good at it, and then it's like, oh, these bubbles, and I'm using my torch constantly, and I'm like, oh, it's not good. So next you would need a level to level out your table. Mine is spot on. Not when I'm leaning on it doing a video, though. Also, too, get yourself some shims. I got one here. These are great. If your table's off, put yourself a little shim underneath your table. Bring it up just enough to get you level. And sometimes I have to put one under here, under my tray, to keep it from coming off, but not too often. All depends how big the canvas is and how much weight of the paint is on there is usually my problem. So that is important. This little level right here, I'm not sure if I got that on Amazon or not, but they shouldn't cost you more than a couple bucks. You can use your cell phone too. I think there's an app with a level that you can use. All right, so now comes the fun part. Pouring mediums. This is my strainer. It's an antique. Works great for paint. It's very fine mesh. Catches any clumps, and I strain my flow trawl through there. Now, a lot of people don't use both. I use both. I use Elmer's Glue All and I use Floetrol. The reason I use both is Elmer's Glue All is a binder. It binds to the paint. Floetrol is a paint conditioner. I talked with the rep at Flood. It is not a paint binder. However, it works like a pouring medium. So you don't have to use both. But I've painted with just this, and I do not get the results that I get with using both. A lot of you that don't live in the States have a hard time getting this. I'm sorry, there's got to be something at one of your paint stores that is, you got to have something there that would compare to this. To me, it's like a clear glue. When it dries inside my bottle, it's clear. So is this. And you can use it as a pouring medium. This will create a few cells for you as well if you don't beat the crap out of it when you're mixing your paint. But I myself use both. So you can also use Liquitex pouring medium. Let's see if I got one here. Yep. I use this on occasion. It's very expensive. The Glue All is cheap. These are like $16? And get on sale for $8. So I just buy this for $14.99 when it's on sale. And you mix this with water, so you're getting extra because it's 2/3 glue to 1/3 water. You don't add anything to this. So if you're just starting out, pick up a couple bottles of glue at the dollar store. But make sure, I know a lot of people use the washable, the school glue. I do not. I use the Glue All because this is a multi-purpose glue. The other glue is what the kids use in school. It's washable, and if they get it on their clothes, it washes out. That's my fear. So that's why I use this one, because this one is for household repairs. It's for wood. Probably says on there. Craft projects. It's extra strong formula, so I would use the Glue All. So I think that pretty much covers out everything you're going to need. I did also, I used to work at a bakery, and I bake from home once in a while, but I have tons of these, so I do use this. You can also get some palette knives. They have the plastic ones. Plastic ones are cheap. that will be used for swiping a corner, picking up paint and put it on the canvas. You know, it works. You don't have to invest a lot of money in this. Pick up yourself a little container of toothpicks to pick out paint clumps, but hopefully you won't have any of those if you stir your paint correctly. And then I think that's about it. Yeah. Oh, you'll have to get butane for your torch as well. If you go to Amazon, you can get a 3-pack of Zippo butane fuel. And it's like $12. So that'll last you a long time. Unless you're painting constantly. But yeah, that will work. So I hope I covered everything. You know, you'll need gloves and paper towels, and I just want to show you what I've been buying for paint now. Ooh. I went to Jerry's Are Dorama. Check out the size of this bottle of paint. Now, when I opened the black one, it is as thick as the paint in a tube. I'm not sure what the quality of it is yet. I just did a couple of paintings with it the other day with the black. The black's always my tester on any paint to see if it has any polymer in it, sort of like a bendable type. And I also picked up some of these Lucas paints at Jerry's Are Dorama. That's a place to check online. They have some great sales on paint. I got Grumbacher tubes for like $2.27, I think it was, or something like that. But yeah, it was pretty affordable. So I think that covers everything that you'll need to paint with. If you have any questions, or if I left something out, post it in the comment section, so maybe the people that are watching this might read the comments. I guess maybe I should tell you to read the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe below and click on the little bell next to the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when I upload another video. You can click like if you enjoyed watching this, and leave a comment. If you know people that are interested in starting acrylic pouring, you're more than welcome to share this video with them. And you can also join me on Facebook at Christina Welch Art. I do post there every couple of days. I'll post pictures of dried paintings, or videos that did not make it to YouTube because I have a boo-boo, you know, my bloopers or whatever. Sometimes I'll post my fails, but not too often. I do have fails just like everybody else. You get to the point where you're pouring and swiping and dipping and scraping and just to save it, but sometimes you just can't. So with that being said, I'll show you a couple of paintings. These are when I first started out. This was my favorite painting. I call it Reproduction. Oh, that light is horrible. Let me get above it. And see my little sperm in the middle? Isn't he cute? But that, I was using a heat gun back then, but I was also using some old paints that I had that were enamels. I think they were Deco Art enamel to paint on glass that you bake. So I wanted to use up some paints. I still have quite a bit of these left that I'm still using, but they really created some great sales because they're thicker and probably because they're enamels. So, and then this one here is pretty cool. So I kind of saved my first ones, my babies. They're messy. But we'll go through that too. I use painter's tape now, and it makes a big difference. But a lot of people, when they buy art, they like to see the mess. So it's up to you. It's your preference. I prefer to have it nice and clean. So if you have any questions, post them below or contact me through Facebook. And we'll get right on with this series. I might shoot another one tonight, so we'll start stirring paint. But I just want to get everybody started, the things you're going to need. So if you're just starting out, though, you don't have to get the silicone. You don't have to get that stuff yet. But if you want cells, you should get something. There is a KY product. I want to say it's Personal Touch. that you can use. There's argan oil that you can use. I know a lot of people use Rain-X. People use dish soap. I don't even know anything about the dish soap, so I can't help you there. So check around on Facebook, or on YouTube. There's Debbie Coles and Karen Goodrich would probably be the ones when they first started out with tutorials. They'll probably be able to help you a little bit too. I'm Anne-Marie, definitely, but Anne-Marie has changed her medium so many times that I don't even know what she's using now. But we all started out, I think, with glue, and we've worked our way into something different. But I'm still sticking to it because it works good for me, and I don't really care about an archival quality. What happens to my painting 100 years from now? Why would I care? I'm not going to be here. You know, I'm not a famous artist. If I was famous and selling a ton of paintings, yeah, I would care about what I mix in my paint. But if you're just starting out, the glue and the Floetrol, it's fine. So I will see you guys on the next one, and make sure you click that bell so you know when I upload that video. So thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, leave them below. Have a great day. Bye.